All right, welcome everyone to AI Tech Talk channel. This is the place to be if you want to know what's really happening in the tech world. We're all about diving deep into the latest information, the tools and methods everyone's talking about. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Talia, excited to be here.
So we're going to tackle something that you're probably hearing a lot about these days, DevOps. Now, a lot of people might think it's just about automation, like just throwing in some tools and calling it a day, but it's way more than that. Today, we're going to uncover what's really at the core of DevOps.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting is that DevOps arose from a pretty fundamental challenge. Think about it. We often see this tension between development teams, who are all about pushing out new features, and operations teams who are laser focused on stability.
Yeah, it's that classic battle, right? The developers are screaming, we need more features, and the operations folks are like, hold on, let's make sure things don't crash. It creates a bit of a bottleneck, wouldn't you say?
For sure. And that's where DevOps steps in. It's like this merging of development and operations, breaking down those walls to make these teams work together, more seamlessly.
So more like a team sport than two separate teams competing. But it's more than just better teamwork, right? We've seen in our research that it's a fundamental shift in mindset, a cultural change even.
Absolutely. And to really understand that shift, it helps to think about the CALMS framework. It's a great way to break down the key parts of a successful DevOps environment.
Okay, CALMS, that's a good one. So C stands for culture. What does that actually look like in DevOps?
So a big part of it is embracing Agile methodologies in the development process. Think about all those meetings, the refinement meetings, planning sessions, those daily stand-ups, the demos to showcase what's been done, and the retrospectives to learn and improve. It all adds up to a more adaptable and responsive way of developing software.
So instead of these huge software releases that happen every few months, it's more about making smaller, incremental changes and getting feedback along the way. Agile. Now, the A is for automation. I bet this is what most people think of when they hear DevOps.
Yeah, it's definitely a core element. Our sources really emphasize the importance of automated testing, especially data-driven testing across web, mobile, and APIs. Imagine going from manually testing everything to having 100% of your tests automated. One of our sources mentioned that their total testing time, even with verification, got slashed down to just 15 minutes.
Wow, 15 minutes. That's incredibly fast. Think about the time and resources you save and how much faster you can get feedback on your code. All right, let's move to M, which is measurement.
Measurement is all about having your finger on the pulse of your systems, using real-time monitoring and alerts. You need to know exactly what's happening with your apps and infrastructure 24/7. This way, you can be proactive, spot issues early on, and address them before they become major problems for your users.
So it's not just reacting when something breaks. It's about getting ahead of the curve. Now, the L stands for lean. Now, our source didn't go into great detail about this one. What's the gist of lean in a DevOps environment?
Yeah, it's true. It wasn't super explicit, but essentially lean is about minimizing waste and streamlining the entire software delivery process, making everything as efficient as possible.
I see. Cutting out all the unnecessary steps, being as lean and mean as possible. And finally, S for sharing.
Right. Sharing really emphasizes that collaboration, that open communication between the development and operations teams. It's about breaking down those silos, ensuring everyone is on the same page, understands the goals and challenges, and works together effectively.
So with CALMS, you've got a pretty solid framework for a successful DevOps transformation. Culture, automation, measurement, lean, and sharing. But DevOps isn't static, right? It's evolving.
Absolutely. And one really interesting area is cloud DevOps. This is about taking all these DevOps principles and applying them in cloud environments, really leveraging the scalability and flexibility the cloud has to offer.
That makes sense. And then there's AI Ops. Now, this one sounds like it could really shake things up.
Yeah, AI ops is basically bringing artificial intelligence into the world of IT operations. Think about it. Smarter automation, more powerful data analysis, more proactive problem solving even.
That's a game changer. And we can't forget DevSecOps, which is absolutely essential these days.
Definitely. DevSecOps is about baking security into every single stage of the DevOps lifecycle. It's about shifting security left, making it everyone's responsibility from day one, not something you tack on at the end.
So to recap for everyone, DevOps is this fundamental shift in how we think about developing and operating software. It's about bringing development and operations teams closer together, fostering a culture of agility, and really embracing automation. And with the CALMS framework culture, automation, measurement, lean, and sharing, you have the core principles to guide you. And we're seeing some really exciting evolutions with cloud DevOps, AIOps, and DevSecOps, making IT more agile, more efficient, and more secure.
Yeah, and it's important to think about how these ideas are starting to pop up in your own experiences with tech. Are you seeing faster software releases, more collaboration between teams? It's worth paying attention to.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into DevOps. We hope this has given you a good understanding of what it's all about and why it's so relevant today.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch you next time on AI Tech Talk channel.